Kundiman is a genre of traditional Filipino love songs. The lyrics of the Kundiman are written in Tagalog. The melody is characterized by a smooth, flowing and gentle rhythm with dramatic intervals. Kundiman was the traditional means of serenade in the Philippines. The Kundiman came around to be an art song at the end of the 19th century, and by the early part of the 20th century, its musical structure was formalized by Filipino composers such as Francisco Santiago and Nicanor Abelardo. They sought poetry for their lyrics, blending verse and music in equal parts. Scholars and historians believe that the Kundiman originated from the Visayas. Dr. Francisco Santiago, 1889–1947, the father of the Kundiman art song, briefly explains in his scholarly work The Development of Music in the Philippines. The reason why this Tagalog song is called Kundiman is because the first stanza of this song began thus. Kundiman, Kundiman, Kundiman si Gil. Hilan G Kundiman, Hilan G Kundangan. In 1872, the illustrious Franciscan Tagalist and poet, Joaquin de Coria wrote the Nueva Gramatica Tagalog Teorica Practica, which, besides treating grammar, also enumerates the characteristics of Tagalog language, and discusses Tagalog poetry. In this book, Coria also listed the names of the most important songs of the Tagalogs. They are, Diana and Tailingday, Indalanin and Dalain, Solaranin, Holoharan, Oyawi, and Hilhil, Sambatani, Tagumpay, Hiliro and Balikan Kung, Dopayanin, Kumintang, Kundiman. The Spanish scholar V. M. Avella described the Kundiman in his 1874 work Manual de la Conversación en Familia Aspar plus or minus al Tagalog as the Canción den Indigena of the Tagalogs, and characterized its melody as something pathetic but not without some pleasant feeling. /ref name equals Kundiman. In his 1883 book Cuentos Filipinos, Don Jose copyright Montero y Vidal recorded in Spanish the sad lyrics of a popular Kundiman of the Tagalas, or Tagalogsa. Kundiman, Kundiman, Kundiman si Gil, mas que este dormido, ta sona con il. Desde que vos cara, yo ta mira, agamariscta, no puede tragar. Kundiman, 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 mamate, mi muro, sacame mo lamang. The Spanish writer and historian Anceslo y Reterno recorded in 1888 the lyrics of a popular Kundiman in Batangas. The melancholic lyrics in the Tagalog original as recorded in Reterno's book El Indio Batangui plus or minus o reads. Eko man iambay, hamik isang ducha, nasinta za iyo, nalahasik nga, di bargwen si David ng una iaba, pastor I nagharan ng datnan ng awa? Espilo. Hilan G Kundiman, Hilan G Kundangan, Mundu Palibhusay, Tailing Aga Lamang, Ang Mababan Gayon Bikasay Marangil. Zalut ng Harapsan Tang Daladala, Salang Kimaloza Sipkoy Ikaw na, Ekoy Mananog na Hanapin Querta. Espilo. Hilan G Kundiman, Hilan G Kundangan, Kundangan Ga Ikaw Ang May Kasalanan, Tataghoy ni di mo pa pakwingan. In 1916, Dr. Juan V. Pagaspas, a doctor of philosophy from Indiana University and a much beloved educator in Tinoan, Batangas, described the Kundiman as a pure Tagalog song which is usually very sentimental, so sentimental that if one should listen to it carefully, watching the tenor of words and the way the voice is conducted to express the real meaning of the verses, he cannot but be conquered by a feeling of pity, even so far as to shed tears. J. Pagaspas, Native Amusements in the Province of Batangas, Dr. Francisco Santiago, the father of Filipino musical nationalism, declared in 1931 that the Kundiman is the love song par excellence of the Filipinos, the plaintive song which goes deepest into their hearts, song which brings them untold emotions. F. Santiago, The Development of Music in the Philippines, endowed with such power, the Kundiman naturally came to serve as a vehicle for veiled patriotism in times of colonial oppression, in which the undying love for a woman symbolized the love of country and desire for freedom. Jose Copyright Rizal, leader of the propaganda movement and the Philippine national hero, has consecrated the Kundiman in his social novel A Euro o Inalay Mi Tangiera Euro. Not only this, but he himself wrote a Kundiman which is not of the elegiac type because its rhythm sounds the threat, the reproach and the revindication of the rights of the race. Kundiman ni Rizal. Tanin gayong during diwa at paso, ang bayan palabay api, lupigat sumuko. Za kapabayan ng nagchirong puno, paglayo nawala, legayo naglaho. Datapuate muling sisikat ang maligay nga raw, pilit na malaligtas ang inaping bayan, magbabalik man din at laging sisikat, ang galang Tagalog sa sandaigdigan. Abubuhos naman ang dugo ay ibabaha, ng matubos lamang ang zalemang lupa. Hanggang di sumapit ang panong taderna, sinto ay tachayamik, tutuloy ang nasa. Sinto ay tachayamik at tutuloy ang nasa. O bayan kong mahal, Sintang Filipinas. From 1896 to 1898 the most famous Kundiman, which fired the patriotic sentiments of the Tagalog revolutionaries in the struggle for liberation from Spanish colonial rule, was Jocelyn ang Baliwag. Officially known as Musica del Legítimo Kundiman Procedente del Campo and Surecto, Jocelyn ang Baliwag was the favorite Kundiman among the revolutionaries of Bulacan during the Philippine Revolution of 1896, earning it the title Kundiman of the Revolution. In the guise of a love and courtship song, it features lyrics dedicated to a young and beautiful Filipina idolized in the Bulacan town of Baliwag named Josefa Pepita Tayungsan y Lara, who symbolizes the image of the beloved motherland, the Inangbayan Katagulagan or Filipinas. Jocelyn ang Baliwag. Pinopulng Sinta, Naring Kalila, Ne Kawanjis May Bangong Sampaga, Dulce Zalnis, De Kila Ganda, Matanyas Narbikal ng Madlang Liga. Iadeng Maligayang Kanala Klokan, ng Galak at Tuang Katamis Tamisan, Hardik ang may ningning na ang may tanayari, Masamyong Biliklak agad musical. Pipa na nanalagan naring aking dibdib, Nazar Paglalayag Zar Dagat ng Sakit, Di Mobabayalang Malanod Zar Hapis, Zar Pagkabagabag Koariakul ang Sasajip. Ikor Nanga ang Luno Zar aking Dalita, Tanging Maglaligta Zar Nilwala, Bunying Bining Sinuku ang Kusa, Naring Kato hang Nangai Papa. Tangapin ang aking Wagas na Pagibig, Marubdob na Ningas na Taglay Zar Dibdib, Zar Bue na Itori Walang Nilalangit, Kung Hindi Akor Lamang, Alor Naring Asip. Ayat Zar Kawake Zari ang Kapamanakan, Tumbasan Moyering Pagsan Tang Dulce, Alalahanin Mong Kung DK Abagan, Ayang Layla Sunan ang Abakong Bue. The Filipino composer, conductor and scholar Felipe M. de Lecubden Jr., wrote that the Kundiman is a unique musical form expressing intense longing, caring, devotion and oneness with a beloved, or with a child, spiritual figure, motherland, ideal or cause. According to its text, a Kundiman can be romantic, patriotic, religious, mournful, or a consolation, a lullaby, or a protest and other types. But of whatever type, its music is soulful and lofty, conveying deep feelings of devotional love. FM de Lecubden Jr., but what really is the Kundiman? See also, Dahil sa iyo, references. External links, Tagalog literature. A Historico-critical study by Professor Eufronio Maloalip, Manila, UST Press, 1930 ppA 17, 65, Kundiman by Dr. Jose. Copyright Rizal, The Music and Theatre of the Filipino People by R.C. Barnes, from El Filipino, Revista Mensual Vol. No. 9, The Filipino Folk Song by Percy Hill from the Philippine Magazine. Vol. XXIII, No. 3, PA 147, Philippine Education Company. Manila, 1926. PA 147, El Indio Batanguero Biances y Returna, Manila, Typo Litografia de Chofwysia, 1888. PA 25, Cuentos Filipinos by Don Jose. Copyright Montero y Vidal, Madrid, Tip del Asilo de Hue. Copyright RFANOS del Sagrado Corazon de Jesus S., 1883. PA 106, Kundiman, Tagalian Merriness by Karl Schertzer from Circumnavigation of the Globe by the Austrian frigate Nova in the years 1857, 1858 and 1859. Manual de la Conversación en Familia Spa plus or minus al Tagalog by VMD Avella, Manila, C. Mirals, 1874. PA 116, Classical Philippines Radio plays unique blend of classical guitar, Kundiman and Harana music.